This is your Unit 3, Part 2 vocab words. Make sure you write down the word, definition, as well as the part of speech. So your first word is capricious, and capricious is an adjective meaning determined by chance or impulse or whim rather than by necessity or reason. It also means changeable. And so an example is from Harry Potter when Malfoy impulsively hands Dobby a sock. Thus, Dobby becomes a free elf. Censure. Censure is a word that has two meanings, so make sure you write both of them down. The first meaning is a noun, meaning harsh criticism or disapproval, the state of being excommunicated. And then the second is a verb, meaning to rebuke formally. And so a lot of the people in here are in AP Euro. So a good example from AP Euro is King Henry VIII, who is the father of Queen Elizabeth I. And he experienced censure when he wanted to get divorced from Catherine because they were not producing an heir. And so he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn, and the church did not want to grant him a divorce, and so he experienced censure with the government and the church. Chagrin, and chagrin has two meanings as well, and the first is a noun meaning strong feelings of embarrassment, and the second is a verb meaning cause to feel shame and to hurt the pride of. And so an example would be when Sally finally looked into the mirror, much to her chagrin, she realized she had food stuck in her teeth from lunch. And charlatan is a noun meaning a quack or one showing false pretenses. And there are many people who believe that Dr. Phil is a charlatan because he does not have the necessary credentials to be giving therapy and advice that he does. And then chicanery is also a noun meaning the use of tricks or to deceive someone. So a lot of people would believe like car salesmen would fall into this category. Churlish, and churlish is an adjective meaning have a bad disposition, surly, rude, and boorish. And so an example, again from Harry Potter, would be the Malfoy family. Clairvoyant has two meanings. A noun is someone who has the power of clairvoyancy or someone to foresee the future. Clemency is a noun, leniency and compassion shown towards offenders of rule or law. And there's an example from this last week. Once the Pope was in town, there was a Georgia inmate who was denied clemency for her role in the murder, or in the role she played in her husband's murder. And she was on death row, and she was the first woman to be executed in quite some time in Georgia's history, and she was executed on Wednesday morning. And then coalesce. Coalesce means to fuse or cause to grow together, the mixing together of different elements, and that is a verb. And so this is an example with a ski slope. So the different runs can coalesce, so they can join together, and you have to be careful because their level of difficulty can change. So skiers and snowboarders have to be vigilant of these changes because if it increases in difficulty and you are not prepared, it can cause you to experience some challenges when you are on the mountain. And your final word is to cohere, or cohere, and cohere is a verb meaning to unite, form a whole, and it can also mean be logically connected. And many people argue whether or not rulings in this country cohere with the Founding Fathers' governing principles. And that is why we have the three branches of government, and one of them is the judicial system, with the Supreme Court making the final decisions. So make sure you have those words written down. Your Part 3 test is going to be on Friday, so make sure you are studying parts 1 and 2. So nice job.